Now we review The Devil Beneath. So what's my sister doing down there? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I have seen The Devil Beneath, which is a story of a group of people in the Australian outback who get menaced by a bunyip. And whereas I've heard of a bunyip before, I've never heard of it doing any of the things in this particular movie. But before I get any further to that, let me remind you that for every 1,000 subscribers I get, I do purchase one of these bracelets from 4Ocean. 4Ocean pulls a pot of trash out of the water, out of the ocean every time I do that. So if you'd be so kind as to comment, like, and subscribe, you will not anger the water spirit that is the bunyip. Now, okay, so itch your nose. If you saw the trailer, and you can probably see the poster, you've got two brothers. Their grandfather has passed away, and they're tasked with deciding what to do with their grandfather's property. The trailer goes all the way into confirming that there is a bunyip on this property, and that, it is menacing and dangerous, which tells you right there a lot about the quality of this movie. One thing you should understand about trailers: the further back in the movie, the further along in the movie they have to show you footage from, generally the worse the movie. Okay? It's like the, what was that stinking zombie movie where they literally put the last scene of the film in the trailer? Ugh. Trailers should establish the first act of the film, which should be the basic premise. Beyond that, we should be surprised when we watch. So, showing us the monster really isn't something that should happen unless the monster is very apparent in the first act. And that's not what happens in this movie. The monster is essentially a last act villain. And there are other villains, there are human villains to address. Now, to give you an idea, this is very much a PG-13. It's almost a PG horror film. The action is really subdued. The monster is in no way scary. And, well, there's some blood, but not a lot of gore. All right? The three women in this movie, one of them gets down to a bikini. That's as far as and as sexy as it goes. And she is certainly an attractive woman, but, there are no really good shots of her in the bikini, and there's no sexy going on in this movie. This is not a Freudian horror film where, it should be, but it's not a Freudian horror film where there's that underlying air of sexual tension or reproductive importance. It's just, a horror film made to essentially make money. It's kind of a cash grab film. And, I would probably grant you that if I spoke with an Australian accent, it would likely up my enjoyment of this film because all the characters have very similar voices, and it's hard for me to pick them out with the Australian accent, and there really isn't enough character establishment for me to think, well, this is this character and this is that character. There are two brothers that don't get along. There's, I think, some dopey guy. There's the rich dude and his cronies. And I think there's a half-Aboriginal man involved in this as well. But that's all kind of mishmash. So, yeah, look. If you're a horror hound, this movie is like cheap candy. You want to eat that candy because it's your thing. And I totally understand that. But if you're a casual movie viewer, this is fans of the genre only. It's just, it doesn't have enough substance to really bring out what it's talking about. You don't get enough real bunyip to, I don't know enough about the bunyip to really say if any of the stuff they talk about in this is authentic, but the bunyip lore in here is so silly that it's like, okay, what was the stick in the What was that weapon that they used at the end to fight Bunyip? What was that supposed to be? Is there a name for it? Can you give me some more information? Really, the lore of the Bunyip is what's going to be most interesting to me about this movie, and it's just not present. So it really distracted from my enjoyment. Like I say, fans of the genre only, and by genre I mean low-budget horror films with bad CGI. Anyway, that's just my opinion. I'd love to hear yours. Comments below. I'm Richard.
Randall the Rat here once again, and I'm here to remind you humans to comment, like, and subscribe. And you know why? Well, have you watched the news? Mother Nature is pissed! And we can help, because each one of these necklaces I'm wearing, it's a medal from the Conqueror. And in addition to being awesome bling, each one of them represents 5 trees. 5 glorious trees that the owner of this channel has had planted. I'm wearing 5 of these, so I've got 25 trees around my neck. 25 of the more than 100 that have been planted so far. So if you want to do your part to unpiss off Mother Nature, listen to old Randall here and comment, like, and subscribe. Or, of course, I could just eat your face and make there be less humans to pollute the environment. Global warming sucks, and you're delicious.